Welcome back to Behind the Caution Tape. I'm your host, CrashLit. I'm recording pretty early today due to plans today with friends due to having no school because of President's Day. But let's get right into everything. I'm coming to you from the Surf House in University Park. So let's get right in with some news on the football team. So last week I did report that Max Steinecker has been hired as the executive director of player personnel and previously served as Wisconsin's general manager. That is officially now being confirmed, and Dre Brown is now holds the role of assistant general manager. So just wanted to talk about some of the latest personnel moves, especially with how fascinating this whole and exciting too, I should say, this general manager search and just front office has been for the football team. I think it's going to be really beneficial. And it was also interesting to hear that sounds like Chad Bowden reports to both Jen Cohen, the athletic director, as well as head coach Lincoln Riley. So definitely some very just interesting developments on that front. So I just wanted to make sure we talked about them right at the start of the episode. In addition, congratulations to Jalen Smith, Woody Marks, and Jonah Monheim on getting invites to the NFL Scouting Combine. So best of luck to them as they try to pursue their dreams at the next level. So really excited to see them as well as everyone else who's trying to make it in the NFL. So best of luck over the next few months prepping for that. Meanwhile, with soccer, congrats to Ines Derrien on being called up to the U.S. Soccer Youth National Team with the U-19 squad in Spain from February 15th through 27th at the Lalbeer Women's International Tournament. So best luck to her and the U.S. team in general. Women's volleyball, meanwhile, has rounded out its coaching staff with the hire of Blossom Sato as an assistant coach. She previously served at UC San Diego as a men's volleyball assistant from the fall of 24 until now. Her uncle is USC men's volleyball assistant Gary Sato, and I think it's a really good hire. It sounds like she was really knowledgeable, and I know a few guys on the UC San Diego team who are wishing her the best, and I think they're kind of bummed they're losing her. So I think it's a great hire for the USC women's volleyball program that's going to really round out the staff well with under Brad Keller heading into year 6 under his tenure. So staff is with Keller as head coach, Spencer McLaughlin as the associate head coach, and Megan Minoa and Blossom Sato as the assistant coaches. So excited for that next fall. Meanwhile, for rowing, congrats to Annabelle Aron, Luis Geisels, and Gary Hendrickson on being named to the Four-Star Spring Network Watchlist. So really excited for this team to get back into competition soon. And their next event will be a dual meet against UCLA on March 8th at the Port of Los Angeles. So USC is the home school for that. The time is still yet to be determined, but definitely sounds like something that'd be really fun to go check out if it works out. Meanwhile, women's golf has been in action over the weekend. Currently ranked 3rd in the country. They've been taking part in the Alice and John Wallace Classic in Palm Desert at the Monterey Country Club from Saturday, and they will finish today. It is hosted by Long Beach State. USC is currently in 2nd place out of 21 teams in the tournament after day 2. They're behind 5th ranked Oregon, 4 under par, total score of 564, and they're looking to overtake the Ducks today for their 5th event win this season. Track and field, meanwhile, continues their indoor season with 2 events. They had sophomore Nathan Cumberbatch competing in the Husky Classic, where he finished 8th among college athletes in the men's 800-meter race with a season best of 148.82. And at the Tiger Paw Invitational that was hosted by Clemson over the weekend on Friday and Saturday, USC did get 1 event in with congrats to Johnny Brackens Jr. for winning the 600-meter hurdles and improving both his personal record and NCAA leading time. So looking forward to all of that, and best of luck to track and field at their next event, which will be coming up, which will be the Big Ten Indoor Championships. Those will be in Indianapolis on February 28th and March 1st. So coming up quickly. Indoor season is starting to wrap up, and pretty soon we move into the outdoor season. But best of luck to the Trojans. Men's tennis got an upset 4-3 win at number 25 Pepperdine on Saturday. So sounded like it was a total thriller. Pepperdine got the doubles point, but then Peter Mack, Nathan Truve, Carl Lee, and Matteo Marazzi won their singles matches to give USC the win, and it came down to all six matches, all six duels having to complete their play. On the women's side, USC took care of business against San Diego on Friday. They won 7-0 and got the doubles point, and Grace Piper, Emma Charney, Emi Haddad, Jaina Hassam, and Maya Sung all won their single matches, and due to a late scratch on court six, and I was naming the courts in order, by the way, for both teams, for all athletes who won from court one to six. Late scratch on court six gave USC a free point after the doubles play had finished. And so for both teams, actually, the women's tennis is now 4-1, and up next they will take on Cal, who's 1-2 on the year, at home on Friday at 1:30. So USC just needs to be ready to go and keep the momentum going. For the men's, I forgot to mention their next opponent. They sit at 5-3, and up next they will play at UCLA on Saturday, who's 2-5 at 1 p.m. It's a non-conference Crosstown Showdown. And even though UCLA's record doesn't show, USC just needs to be fired up because Crosstown Showdowns, both teams come ready to play. Meanwhile, we will get ready to do a bit of a preview on beach volleyball right now as their season starts this week. They are the number one ranked team in the country, and they're starting the season ranked number one, and they're looking for their fifth straight national championship. So they will open with 6 duels in 3 days at the Outrigger Duke Kahanamoku Beach Classic in Honolulu. That will be hosted by the University of Hawaii. So 3 duels in 6 days, like I said. On Thursday they will play host Hawaii at 1, and then 12th ranked Hawaii at 1, 7th ranked LMU at 6. Friday they got number 5 Stanford at 11:45 and number 11 ASU at 3:30, and then on Saturday to close out they'll face crosstown rival number 3 UCLA at 3:30 and then number 2 TCU at 6. So that's quite a schedule to start the season off with. But I think this team is going to be able to handle it. Obviously, it's going to look a lot different. You don't have as many upperclassmen on the team, but I still think this team can be really special. It's got a lot of talent. You got Ashley Pater, Madison White, and a lot of other players who are crucial in helping. Maven Thomas, they were just crucial in helping bring this team to to getting that 4-peat last year. So I think this team is going to be able to keep it going and have a great year. Probably win it, and a good shot to win it again in their new conference. So swim and dive will take part. Swim and dive has Big Ten championships coming up this week. So the women's are, as I've talked about, this week from Wednesday to Saturday in Columbus, and then the men will take part in their championships in Minneapolis from February 26th through March 1st. So just 2 big weeks coming up for both squads, and definitely they go into it with 3-2 dual records, so they just need to be ready to go and try to take home the conference titles in their first season there and just get ready for the NCAAs. Women's water polo, meanwhile, continues to stay hot. Will probably hold steady at the number 1 position as they are now 11-0 on the season. So they beat number 9 Long Beach State on Saturday, 16-10. Ava Stryker led with 4 goals against the Beach, and it was a very competitive game. It's tied up 6-6 at half, but USC outscored LBSU 10-4 in the second half to win a very competitive game and just take the lead and just take control of their destiny. So up next, USC has got a very tough tournament coming up in the Barbara Calbus Invitational that'll be hosted by UCI. Also some games taking place at Corona Del Mar High School. But to start the tournament, USC will face Biola on Friday at 10 a.m. in Irvine, and then they'll play 2 games on Saturday and 1 more on Sunday. So USC needs to get ready. First match should be easy. USC has walloped Biola both times they've played them. But remaining matches will be tough, and especially if USC wins, which I think they very much will, they will probably find themselves in a finals rematch with either a team like Stanford or probably UCLA has been looking pretty solid too. So basically my point is USC just needs to come ready to play and take care of business. Women's lacrosse meanwhile, went up to Berkeley for 2 games And number 24 USC beat Cal on Friday 17-6, then beat number 21 Colorado 15-6 on Sunday, with both those games taking place at Cal Memorial Stadium. Matty Dora led with 6 goals against the Golden Bears, and that's now 18 straight wins for USC against Cal. So pretty solid streak there. Even probably, and part of it helps definitely that they were in the same conference for a while, and obviously USC is playing all their former Pac-12 members, but still, just streak like that is very impressive. Against Dora also led the team in goals with 5 against Colorado, but Isabel Vitale broke USC's single game assist record with 7, dishing out 7. So very impressive work from Vitale. So USC now up to 2-1 on season, and I see them moving up a spot or two in this week's upcoming poll. So up next, USC comes home. They will host UC Davis on Friday, who is 0-2, and then ASU, who's 3-0 on Monday. Both those games will be watchable on Big Ten Plus, and the team will be playing at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, where most of the games will be playing. USC does have one more game at the Coliseum. That'll be against Johns Hopkins on March 16th, but all the rest of their home games will be at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. So just USC just needs to, keep the momentum going, especially against, two familiar opponents who are in the conference in the Pac-12 with them last year, UC Davis as an affiliate for lacrosse. Men's volleyball had a tough week, falling to number 2 UC Irvine twice this week. Trojans lost in 5 on Wednesday and got swept at Irvine in the Brent Events Center, and then at Galen Center on Friday got swept. So tough week for the Trojans. Dylan Klein led with 18 kills at the Brent Events Center, and it was a thriller of a match that just went back and forth. And the fifth set going well into overtime, and it ended 26-24. So just really impressed. It was a great match. I went down to Irvine for it, and it was just great to, see a lot of, I played at Balboa Bay Volleyball Club. There are a lot of Balboa people there, including a couple of my former coaches, and the founder, Charlie Brand, was actually calling the game for ESPN Plus. So it's great to, catch up with him for a minute, but just, it's a great environment. Just, they're really into it. So it was just cool to, get to witness such a great match between two of the best teams in the country. But even though USC lost, I was really impressed probably with how both Jack Duger and Marcus Olson came off the bench to give USC a spark in the second half of the match that I think was really pivotal to helping them do well and keep it as close as they did. And then on Friday, I didn't make it to that one due to going to baseball, even though it was at Galen. UCI was much more dominant against the Trojans at Galen. Duker did start, and I really did like that move, and led with 18 kills, but it was just not as close. Both sets and obviously they got swept. So, but up next, USC is off this week, and then they'll play at Vanguard. Their next match will be at Vanguard on February 26th to start MPSF play. So USC just needs to use this week to get better, rest up, and then just be ready for the gauntlet's going to be the MPSF starting with Vanguard. Then they got obviously the rest of the team. So it's going to be, they just need to come ready to play. Baseball, meanwhile, started this week, and they got a sweep over George Washington in the first ever meeting between the two schools. So USC won 15-2 on Friday with getting 10 runs in the first inning. So it was over pretty quick, and but it was just nice to see them just, start strong. Kevin Takeuchi, Ethan Hedges, and Bryce Martin Grudzelanek all had impressive standout nights behind the plate to help USC get its first win. Then Kate Hunter was impressive with 4.1 outings. He gave a 1 run and 1 hit to get the win. So definitely a great way to start the season. They won 9-8 on Saturday with Cade Higgins going 4-for-4 to help USC's offense propel the team to victory in a game where USC was never behind, but the Revolutionaries were right in it the whole time. So it was definitely, much more competitive. And then it was definitely more of that same story on Sunday, where USC did actually give up 5 runs in the top of the third. But then USC's bats got them back into it, with Braden Dowd hitting a crucial 3-run shot to put USC up in the 6th, up 7-5 after Jackson Baker gave up 5 runs. But just definitely, other than that, USC did keep the Revolutionaries at bay, other than that one explosive third for them. But really impressed with how this team fights. So that's kind of my big takeaways. And the other thing that was cool is to see Ethan Hedges, the third baseman, get to pitch for the first time since high school on Saturday and Sunday, and I got to see him play Sunday. I wasn't there Saturday, but see him play and earn saves on both those days to help USC get the wins and get the job done. So up next, USC's got a busy week. They play at UCI, who's 2-1, on tomorrow at six. That'll be on ESPN Plus. They host Cal State Bakersfield, who's 1-2 at LMU's Page Stadium at 6. That'll be on Big Ten Plus, and then they host Rice, who has not won a game yet. They're 0-3. They play at Rice from February 21st through 23rd. TV is yet to be announced. The game for a 3-game series, the games will be at 4:30, 12, and 1 respectively, but pretty much USC just needs to play strong and take care of business, especially against UCI. I think that's going to be a great game tomorrow, so really excited for it. But the team just needs to keep this momentum going. I think this can be a very successful year in the Big Ten, especially now we're starting to know what this team's made of. But I think we'll get a better idea, especially if they face some tougher opponents, especially, like I said, this UCI game, pardon me, is one to really highlight and circle. So before we get into basketball, I do want to say thank you to Woohoo Sue and then Jim Birchtold and Felice Soul for opportunities to sit courtside all week. I had a blast both with Sue and then when I got to bring one of my friends with me on Saturday. So just wanted to give a couple thank you to getting the opportunity to sit courtside. It's always a blast to be just so close to the action. Then men's basketball, they got a 92-67 win against Penn State on Tuesday, but then lost a heartbreaker 69-66 to Minnesota on Saturday. Chibuzo Agbo led with 21 points against Nittany Lions. USC just dominated from start to finish against Penn State. It wasn't really close at all, so it was definitely great to just see them, get a solid win. But then Agbo and Wesley, it's the third, each led with 18 points against the Gophers, and they were just in control for most of the game, up 9 at half, and then up 13, 14, 15 near the start of the second half, but just took the foot off the gas and just fell due to just missed shots and poor play. So it just definitely could be a loss that does hurt, kind of stain their NCAA tournament resume. They do need to bounce back. They have two big opportunities to do it, but it's just right now it's really tough. USC's got this. I think they can turn it around, but they just need to, they need to play better in these next few games on the road, and that's gonna be tough. Obviously, like I've said, we need to be patient as fans in year one with Eric Musselman. I mean, he already landed Elijah Arenas. Like, that's a big move. That's a big win for him on the recruiting trail. But just this first year with this new look team, just guys still gelling, getting used to each other. I think it's like I've said, we need to be patient as fans. So obviously, I don't get me wrong. Like, I want this team to, do well, make the Big Ten tournament, make March Madness, find a way to March Madness. But at the same time, I'm also just trying to, let's take the positives that we got. Obviously, I like the, momentum we've got, but got to, at the same time, keep the momentum going and just find a way. We just got to be patient, but we also, but as fans, but this team also does need to, find a way to, win. So now 14-11 on the year, 6-8 in Big Ten play. So that puts them at 11th in the Big Ten standings. Top 15 only make it, so you don't just make it just for, playing the season. So up next, USC is at Maryland, who's number 25 in last week's ranking. Rankings haven't come out yet this week, so I'm just having to refer to last week's information. He was 20-6 on the year, 10-5. And then Rutgers, and that'll be on Thursday. Rutgers will be on Sunday. They are 12-4, 5-10. So two tough matchups for the Trojans, especially being on the road. And these have become must-win games. Even though USC does have still, I think it's 5 quad one games left as it stands right now. USC just needs to take care of business on these must-win road games and just come out just angry. Especially when you've blown it, like, you got to come out angry and just take care of business. I think this team can. They've proven they can win on the road. And hell, they beat number 7 Michigan State. Sure, that was at home, but that's still a very big win. And they beat number 13 Illinois on the road. They know how to win these games. It's just they got to play a complete game. And I'm confident that Eric Musselman will get this team right and ready to play come for the 2 games on the road this week. Women's basketball got 2 big wins this week. First, a 71-60 win against crosstown rival, and then, and still currently, well, they will drop number 1 UCLA on Thursday, and then followed up with a 69-64 win at Washington on Sunday. So against UCLA, this is what I'll really talk about because it was an amazing game. Juju Watkins went off for 38 points and just had one of the most impressive games ever just against UCLA. She had 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 8 blocks. First ever player in D1 in college or the pros and men or women to have 35 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, 5 plus assists, and that's not even counting her 8 blocks. It was big for her especially due to having her being in a bit of a shooting slump, and she completely shut down Lauren Betts at the end of the game and just blocked a couple of her shots. So USC started strong. UCLA did rally in the second and then had it near a tie at halftime. Took the lead in the third, but USC just played an amazing fourth quarter, shut the Bruins down 24-8, outscored them. That was the scoring for that quarter. Show them that we run LA. So fight on, fours down. Celebrities were there, like Jaden Daniels was there, Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers was there, Kelsey Plum, Natalia and Vanessa Bryant. So just Kevin Hart was there. Like I can list it on. Like I just remember, just it was such a great game. Just to my parents came, so it's just really just may have been just the most exciting game I've ever gone to since I've been a student here at USC and have started going to games. Just for how great of a game that was, and just how like it was sold out. It was like maybe the greatest environment. The only thing I have against this game, and I didn't have to do the game itself, I had to do it the TV station it was on, and it was on Peacock. Like, I get obviously, you know what, with how the Big Ten media deal was going to go, like, okay, some games are going to wind up on Peacock. But when you're trying to grow a sport like women's basketball, which still, well, obviously it's getting more popular, there's still a lot of work to be done, in my opinion. You can't be putting a big rivalry game on a streamer when you're just when you want to get more views, like because not everyone has Peacock. So I think it was kind of a shame, and I think they kind of did this game dirty in that regard. But other than that, it was just an amazing game. So whether you watched it on TV or you were there, it was just an amazing environment to just be a part of and just get to witness and just really get to see everything and just how that game was. It was so incredible. Just obviously getting to show them. So I'm really excited for the rematch. UCLA is going to be fired up for it, but USC does need to be ready for it. So then, obviously, and then they did also go to Seattle and face UW on yesterday and won 69-64. Kiki Iriafen led with 19 points against the Huskies. And USC was down for most of it, but they did find a way to get back into it and then at the end and take the lead and really just played really good basketball in the final minutes. I listened to most of the game as I was driving home from Irvine on Sunday from baseball on the radio. You ever are driving and games on, definitely give it a listen. Eli Kleinman is really good. And then as soon as I got home, I turned it on. So just definitely a really competitive game, and impressed to see how USC took care of business, especially just how good Washington played. Like, I'll give them credit. They played well, but USC definitely finding a way to grit out the win. So, and then also the selection committee released its first top 16 reveal, and USC was named a 2 seed. The next one that came out yesterday, and the next one will be on February 22nd. So USC currently still at 6. I'm thinking they could move up to 4 and 5 with both LSU and South Carolina losing. They're now 23-2 on the year, 13-1 in Big Ten. They're alone in first place in outright standings by winning percentage, although they still have one loss alongside UCLA. But overall, it's going to be a big week for them. They face Michigan State, who came in 22nd last week's poll, who's 19-6 overall, 9-5 in conference. On Wednesday night at 6:30, that game will be on Peacock, and then host Illinois, who's 14-10, 5-7 on Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. So just UC's down their final 3 games, and then maybe they have 4, depending on if the Northwestern game from January gets rescheduled. But they need to finish strong and take care of these remaining games before the rematch at UCLA to close the season on regular season on March 1st. So it's a big week for USC, but really excited for both these basketball games coming up this week. So finally, to how I did. I went 4-2 last week, got the men's basketball win against Penn State on Tuesday, men's volleyball loss at UCI Wednesday, women's basketball win Thursday against UCLA, baseball win against George Washington on Friday. Men's basketball lost versus Minnesota on Saturday, and baseball win yesterday against George Washington. So puts me at 63-18 on the season. And unfortunately, I hit now 275 and 100 all time. So I did unfortunately hit the 100 mark this week. Not proud of that one, I'll say that much. And then that puts me this year at 11-6 at men's basketball games, 12-1 at women's basketball, 6-1 at men's volleyball, and 2-0 at baseball. And then this week my plans are it's not as busy of a week, especially, but I got baseball at UC Irvine on tomorrow. Wednesday it'll be women's basketball against Michigan State, and then Sunday Michigan women's basketball against Illinois. So that's my plans. So that's pretty much all we got for you. The only other news I got for you is Thursday I'm back with a special guest interview, and it is the one and only legendary Cheryl Miller, USC, absolute USC and basketball legend, two-time NCAA champ and 1984 Olympic gold medalist. I'm super excited to have her on to talk about her career, just everything she's done as a player, a coach, an executive, and a broadcaster. So I think it's going to be a really great interview. Definitely join me Thursday back here on Behind the Caution Tape when I have the legendary Cheryl Miller join me. So really excited for that. But that's all we got for you. Thank you again for joining me today. It's been really fun doing this. As always, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this either on YouTube or your streaming service. Yeah, it means the world to me that you all are taking time to listen every week. Check out my website, CrashLit.com. Follow me everywhere at CrashLit on social media. And I'll see you all Thursday. So I'll see you all Thursday when Cheryl Miller joins me. Fight on.